A former cruise director told me something I've been repeating ever since. He said the single biggest mistake senior cruisers make has nothing to do with what happens on the ship. It happens before they ever board. They arrive at the gangway already worn out, drained, stiff, running on fumes, because they spent the entire embarkation morning standing in a crowded airport terminal when they didn't have to. Almost every one of them had the right to walk into a quiet lounge, rest properly, and board that ship with energy. They just didn't know it. 10 lounge secrets most senior cruisers never hear. The one that costs nothing to claim is the one the credit card companies are counting on you never finding. Secret 1. The cruise perk hiding in your wallet. Here's something that frustrates every cruise travel professional who works with seniors. Millions of cruisers carry travel credit cards that include full airport lounge access as a built-in benefit, not a perk you upgrade to, something already included in the card they've held for years, sitting unused because nobody ever told them to activate it. Priority Pass and Lounge Key are the two main networks. Both give access to hundreds of independent lounges worldwide, including every major cruise embarkation city: Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Seattle, Barcelona, Rome. If your card includes either one, you walk into those lounges for free. The catch almost every cruiser misses. Most cards require a one-time enrollment through the card's app or website before the benefit works at any lounge desk. Show up without activating it, card in hand, and you get turned away. Picture this. You're at Miami International the morning of embarkation. Your flight landed 3 hours before the ship opens. You have a card in your wallet that covers you completely, and you spend those 3 hours standing in the terminal because you never activated it. That's the first day of a 10-night sailing already going sideways. Open your card's app right now and search Lounge Access or Priority Pass. If you find it, enroll before your next cruise departure, not at the airport. Magic phrase. Does my card include Priority Pass or Lounge Key access? One phone call before your trip could change how every embarkation day feels from here on. Secret 2. The embarkation morning weapon. Here's the secret the cruise travel community almost never talks about, and it's the one that changes embarkation day completely. Embarkation day is the most physically demanding day of the entire cruise. Security queues, luggage management, check-in crowds, terminal standing, and that's after traveling since early morning to reach the port city. Most senior cruisers arrive hours before the ship opens for boarding. A terminal chair burns the energy you need for boarding day. A lounge preserves it. For cruisers over 65, the difference between arriving at the gangway rested versus depleted shapes the first 2 days of the sailing. Seniors who spend the morning in a lounge, eating properly, resting their legs, sitting in a real chair, consistently say the first evening on board feels completely different. Named person. Gerald, 71, a retired engineer from Houston, spent embarkation mornings at the gate in Tampa for years. After his wife suggested a lounge day pass one season, he said the first dinner on the ship felt like a different trip. I actually had energy for it, he told her. They've used it every cruise since. Build 90-plus minutes of lounge time into every embarkation day plan. Calculate entry cost against terminal food plus standing. It's almost always break even or better. Use the lounge to charge devices, eat a proper meal, and rest before the boarding rush. And the good news is you don't need a first-class ticket or elite status to walk in. The next secret explains exactly how. Secret 3. Day passes no membership needed. Here's something most cruise travelers have never heard, and it's the simplest entry point of all. You don't need a special card, airline status, or membership to get into most airport lounges. You can buy a day pass at the desk, pay once, walk in, use everything. For senior cruisers who fly to embarkation ports once or twice a year, this is often the most practical option. No annual membership, no new credit card, a one-time entry fee, typically $30 to $60 depending on the lounge and airport. On embarkation day, the math almost always works in your favor. The alternative? Buying a terminal meal, hunting a charging port, and standing for 2 hours usually costs the same or more, And none of it restores energy before boarding. The catch: day passes sell out. Some lounges block them on the heaviest cruise embarkation travel days, Friday and Saturday mornings at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Seattle. Walk-up availability is never guaranteed on those days. Direct address: you land in Fort Lauderdale at 10 a.m. Your ship doesn't board until 1 p.m. You walk up to the lounge, pay $45, and spend 2 hours eating a proper breakfast and resting before one of the busiest days of your cruise. That $45 is the best money you spend before you ever set foot on the gangway. Check the specific lounge's website before travel. Search the lounge name plus day pass availability. Have a backup lounge identified. Most major cruise hub airports have multiple options. Magic phrase: do you have day pass availability today, and are there any capacity restrictions right now? But here's where it gets tricky, because not every card gives you the same access, and most cruisers discover this the hard way at the airport on embarkation morning. Secret 4. The card tier trap cruisers fall into. Here's something cruise travel advisors see constantly, and it's an expensive lesson to learn at the airport on embarkation morning. Not all travel cards give the same lounge access. The more expensive card is not always the better one for the airports you actually use. 2 tiers matter. Priority Pass gives access to hundreds of independent lounges at virtually every major cruise embarkation airport worldwide. Branded card lounges, Amex Centurion, Capital One, Chase Sapphire, are typically nicer but exist in far fewer locations. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Seattle, Galveston, Barcelona, Rome, Athens. Every major cruise embarkation port has Priority Pass lounges. Not all of them have branded card lounges. If you upgraded your card for lounge access, but your embarkation city only has Priority Pass coverage, that upgrade did nothing for your cruise travel days. Named person: Sandra, 68, a retired office manager from Ohio, switched to a premium card before a Mediterranean cruise specifically for lounge access. Her new card's branded lounge didn't cover Rome Fiumicino, her embarkation airport. Her previous card's Priority Pass covered it completely. She found out at the desk on embarkation morning. Go to PriorityPass.com and search your embarkation airport before making any card decision. Check whether your included visits are unlimited or capped. Some cards limit to 10 visits per year. Magic phrase: is this airport in the Priority Pass network? One question asked before you fly saves a very avoidable problem. But even the right card doesn't guarantee the right lounge, because not all lounges deliver on cruise travel days. Secret 5. Not every lounge is worth it on cruise day. This one matters more on cruise travel days than any other, and I'm going to be straight with you about it. Some lounges are genuinely excellent, quiet, well-stocked, comfortable. Some are overpriced rooms with a coffee machine. On embarkation day, you don't have time to find out the hard way. Food matters here specifically. On a cruise embarkation morning, many seniors skip breakfast to catch early flights. The lounge is often the first proper meal of the day before a physically demanding afternoon. A lounge with solid hot food is worth $50. A lounge with packaged crackers and warm soda is not worth $25. Distance matters too. On cruise travel days, you're carrying more luggage than a typical trip. A lounge requiring a 15-minute walk with 2 carry-ons is not a rest stop. It's another obstacle before the obstacle. Consequence: first, paid $55 to enter a lounge at Charlotte Douglas during a cruise connection. No hot food available, no open seating. Left after 8 minutes and had 90 minutes to kill in the terminal anyway. Complete loss, and that was the beginning of embarkation day. Check recent Google or TripAdvisor reviews for the specific lounge. Food photos are the most reliable indicator. Ask at the desk: is the lounge at capacity right now, and is hot food available? Magic phrase: is there a quieter section available for passengers who need to rest before a long travel day? Now here's the secret most cruisers only discover by accident on the way home. And it's one of the most valuable on this entire list. Quick question: how many of you have arrived at a cruise port already exhausted before the ship even sailed? If this is changing how you think about Embarkation Day, hit subscribe. The second half covers the Disembarkation Day, secret most cruisers never use, and the one move that can save your entire cruise when a connection goes wrong. Secret 6. Timing when you enter changes everything. Here's something almost nobody in the cruise travel space talks about, and it costs nothing to take advantage of. A lounge at 7 a.m. and the same lounge at 12:30 p.m. on a Friday are two completely different experiences. Morning, calm, light foot traffic, open seating, food fully stocked. That's the version worth paying for. Midday on a Friday or Saturday, the heaviest cruise embarkation travel days. Standing room only, long food queues, noise level matching the terminal outside. For cruisers over 65, quiet is often the entire point. A comfortable chair is nice. A plate of food is nice. But a peaceful place to rest before boarding day begins, that's what actually changes how the first evening on the ship feels. One rule that holds consistently, embarkation day flights before 10 a.m. almost always get the best version of that lounge. And give yourself enough time inside. Arrive at the airport early enough to spend at least 45 minutes in the lounge. That's when the real value kicks in. Aim to use lounges before 10 a.m. or after 3 p.m. when traffic naturally drops. Check lounge apps for capacity or wait time estimates before walking over. Factor distance. A 12-minute walk is fine with 2 hours, not with 40 minutes before a connection. The lounge is in the same room. The time you walk in determines which version of it you actually get. And here's the secret that changes the last day of your cruise. Secret 7. The Disembarkation. Day secret. Here's something almost nobody in the cruise travel space covers, and for senior cruisers specifically, this might be the most valuable secret on this list. Most cruisers think lounge access is for the trip out. Get to the embarkation port. Use the lounge before boarding. That's where most people stop. The arrival lounge on Disembarkation Day is often the more valuable use of the exact same benefit. You disembark after 7, 10, or 14 days at sea. Your flight home isn't until the afternoon. You're carrying luggage, you're tired, and you have hours to fill in an unfamiliar airport. Most Priority Pass lounges allow arrival access. Same card, same benefit, no extra cost. Walk in after disembarkation, eat a proper meal, rest, shower if the lounge has facilities, and board your flight home feeling like a human being instead of someone who just survived a port day. Named person, Patricia, 73, a retired pharmacist from Dallas, discovered arrival lounge access by accident during a transatlantic disembarkation in Southampton. She used her Priority Pass card fully expecting to be turned away. She wasn't. She described the 2 hours inside as the best part of the trip home and the easiest disembarkation day she'd ever had. Confirm arrival access with your card before Disembarkation Day. Most Priority Pass cards allow it. Ask at the lounge desk, "Can I enter as an arriving passenger today?" Plan 60 to 90 minutes of arrival lounge time into any disembarkation day with a late flight. The cruise ends when you get home. Don't let the last day be the worst one. The next secret is the one that catches senior cruisers more than anything else. Secret 8. Always verify before you depend on it. Here's the one that causes the most frustration on cruise travel days, and it's completely preventable. Lounge access rules vary by card, by lounge, by airport, and by time of day. Senior cruisers get caught by this constantly because cruise travel days are already high stress. A lounge rejection before you've even reached the port is the last thing you need. 5 things to confirm before any cruise travel day: whether your card is enrolled and active, whether guests are covered and how many, what time the lounge opens relative to your arrival, whether your ticket type qualifies, and whether capacity restrictions can override your access entirely. The spouse problem catches more senior cruise couples than anything else. One card covers one person. A partner who isn't enrolled gets turned away while you walk in. Named person: Robert, 76, a retired dentist from Charlotte, arrived at Miami International with his wife the morning of embarkation. His Priority Pass was active. Hers wasn't enrolled. He went in. She waited in the terminal. That was the last time they didn't check the guest policy before a cruise departure. Call your card at least 1 week before your cruise departure. Ask specifically about guest access. Enroll your spouse on their own priority pass if your card allows multiple memberships. Magic phrase: can you confirm my enrollment status and guest allowance before I arrive at the airport? A 5-minute call before you leave home saves the most avoidable problem on one of your biggest travel days. And the next secret is one most cruisers completely overlook when they book their flights. Secret 9. Your cruise airline. Loyalty unlocks lounges. Here's something most senior cruisers completely overlook when booking their cruise flights. If you book your cruise flights on the same airline consistently, and many senior cruisers do, building habits around the same routes to Miami or Seattle, you may already have a loyalty account with that airline. And depending on your tier, you might qualify for lounge access on international routes without spending an extra dollar. Most major airlines have 4 status tiers. The second tier and above typically unlocks business class lounge access even when flying economy. On some international cruise routes, transatlantic sailings, Mediterranean departures, Pacific crossings, this kicks in automatically at check-in. The mistake senior cruisers make is assuming status requires constant travel. For someone who takes 3 or 4 cruises a year and books the same airline to reach embarkation ports, mid-tier status is more reachable than most people think. Direct address. You've been flying the same airline to Miami for embarkation for 4 years. You have a loyalty number. You've never logged in to check your tier. That account might already show mid-level status. And with it, lounge access you've never once used on a cruise travel day. Log into your airline loyalty account and check your current status tier today. Search the airline's website for lounge access by status to see what your tier includes. On international cruise itineraries, always check lounge eligibility before assuming you have none. It costs nothing to check, and the final secret is the one that matters most when your entire cruise trip depends on making a connection. Secret 10. The move that saves your cruise. This is the one I made this video for, and it matters most on cruise travel days specifically. Cruise travel has 0 tolerance for missed connections. Miss your flight to the embarkation port and you miss the ship. Full stop. No exceptions. No catching up at the next port. When a flight gets delayed on embarkation morning, the gate desk line is not where you want to be. The phone hold queue is not where you want to be. The lounge desk is. Lounge agents have direct lines to gate staff. They can rebook, find alternative routing, and in some cases call the ship's port agent to flag your revised arrival time, something no gate desk agent will ever do for you. For senior cruisers, this is especially critical on embarkation day flights, typically weekend morning departures to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Seattle, which are among the most delay-prone windows in the domestic flight calendar. You have no margin. The lounge gives you one. Named person, Catherine, 69, a retired accountant from Phoenix, had a connection go sideways at Atlanta on embarkation morning. The gate queue had over 30 people. She walked to the Delta Sky Club instead. The agent rebooked her on a direct flight to Miami, confirmed her bag was transferred, and called the port agent to note her revised arrival time. She boarded with 2 hours to spare, and the ship held. When any disruption happens on a cruise travel day, go to the lounge desk first, before calling the airline. Magic phrase, "My cruise embarkation is today. Can you call the gate agent directly and find me the fastest alternative?" Save lounge locations for every hub airport on your cruise itinerary before you leave home. On cruise travel days, the lounge desk is not a comfort option. It's your fastest path to staying on the ship. Now you know what experienced cruise travelers figured out the hard way. The cruise doesn't start at the gangway. It starts the moment you land in the embarkation city. And what you do in those hours, whether you spend them standing in a noisy terminal or resting in a quiet lounge, determines how the first days of your sailing feel. But there's something that costs senior cruisers even more comfort before any of this, and it happens the moment you book your cabin. That's exactly what I'm covering next. It's on the screen right now. See you there.